Okay, here with Daniel Carrasco. He's a government teacher and also economics teacher for a pre-conference. So how's the year going so far?
The year is it's going great. This has been the first year in a while that I'm doing all social science, so I think that's unique. And while I have been doing Avid for the last several years, and then, but I have 4 sections of Gov Econ and 1 section of World History. The World History at times has been a challenge because I haven't taught it in like 7 years, but I've been having to go back and review a lot of my own notes and create new lessons plans for it because my stuff was getting outdated. But other than that, year's been going great.
Well, good. Now, when I come into your classroom, I'm going to see your government class?
Yes.
Okay, what's the student demographics in the
class? I would say that the probably slight majority of my students in any given my classes typically tends to be Latino, followed by Caucasian, and then on the lower ends usually Asian and African American, and then a very small percentage of Native Americans, if any, in a given class. I'd say most students probably fall in the middle class or lower middle class range. A couple of students who are impoverished. My Period 3 class, which I believe might be the class you might observe. I do have a couple of incoming English learners in there. One in particular that does struggle grasping English, and then a couple that are, unless you kind of would have known through, areas, like I don't think you would have known that they're English learners, and then probably a good 5 or 6 who've been redesignated as proficient English learners.
Okay.
So,
how are the as far as their academic needs? How are the classes? Or Period 3 when I come in Period 3?
Period 3 is a pretty strong period. I have quite a bit of high academic achievers in that class. A couple of kids who probably should be in an AP.
Yeah.
So it's a wide range. I have the high end, and I have a couple of students who definitely struggle. I have one student in that class who is on IEP. Okay. I have another. The English learner is also an IEP, so it's kind of a double whammy. And so she needs a lot of support.
So what can I expect to see when I come in on Wednesday?
On Wednesday, I have lined up a Jeopardy review.
Oh, good. Good.
That Jeopardy review is going to encompass the entire unit that we have done in class, and it's 4 chapters, basically. Okay. The first of that chapter will be on Chapter 10, which is the development of our 2-party system here in the United States, followed by Chapter 11, which is campaigns and elections. So basically what it takes to become, to run an election, if you will. And then like who votes, who doesn't vote, and the Electoral College. That was like a big emphasis on that.
Okay.
Chapter 8, which is on citizenship and how can you become a citizen in this country. What are some of your duties or expectations as a citizen of this nation? And then the last chapter, which is the one we are going to wrap up today, it's Chapter 16, how a bill becomes a law.
Okay. And
then normally I have 6 separate categories, so that'll be 1 each, so 4 of those, almost like a miscellaneous category. Sometimes like they do on Jeopardy, it'll either be like a potpourri or hodgepodge. It'll be one of the 4.
Okay.
And then I usually have for the kids one fun category, which will be something random, either on movies or music or something of the like.
And what are you hoping to accomplish with this lesson?
The key objective of this lesson is to definitely help students. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I have food alarms that go off.
Yeah.
The whole point of the lesson is to really try to ensure that students have grasped the information heading into the test that they will be given on Thursday. I'm giving them a quiz on Chapter 16 specifically tomorrow. I'll grade that within a day, believe it or not, and then give that back to them on Wednesday as well. So we'll actually start the class going over the quiz really quickly, and then answering some questions. And then really it's just to, again, try to ensure that students have mastered the information. A lot of times after a specific question, case in point, like I could ask them a question on the Electoral College, and the question might say something along the lines is, politicians tend to focus on these types of states during an election. They would raise their hand. They would say, what are swing states? They have to answer in the form of a question, just like normal Jeopardy. And then, and if students forget that was the correct answer, we will quickly go over it and then move on to the next one. So, again, a lot of this is good review,
great review
for our students. So, in hopes that they, have and will try to master the content so they could be prepared to take that exam on Thursday.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward for you to coming in, and it tends to be very competitive. You'll come to find out. The students get into it.
What is the winning group?
The winning group. So there's going to be 3 sections of students. People in the front row are the ones who can only answer. If any one of our contestants in the front row cannot answer, or they all get it wrong, then I'll say audience go, and then someone from their side can steal the answer to get the group. But long story short, the winning group will get 5 extra credit points, and kids sometimes will claw one another to try to get those points. So it's entertaining, and the kids really, I think, look forward to Jeopardy days.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
No problem. Thank you.
See you on Wednesday.
Okay. Sounds great.